Alright, what's up everybody? I'm back. We're doing another story video. I got two people with me. I got Jeffofthemellows and I got Darkrealm7 in the house. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
My camera's just on because I'm trying to organize my stand.
So, I was trying to think of more stories to tell, and there was one that came to my mind, and it was a
Little Red Riding Hood.
No. I mean, I guess they kind of tie together because both nature. Not really.
No, they don't.
It's a very vague tie-in, but we all used to be
really hairy guy that killed one of our grandparents.
What the hell?
Or their skin.
So we all participated in Cub Scouts when we were little youngins, you know. None of the controversies that you hear about happened. Okay, I'm just gonna disclose that right now. But there was one.
Smaller.
No, it happens in Scouts too.
No, and it's not Cub Scouts. It's Boy Scouts.
Anyway, there was one weekend. That was just experience and a half of its own, and we're talk about it. Recall the events. So let's start this out. So I remember I was one of the first people that got there. It's about a couple hours north from here, the cabin, as I remember. It's like a series of cabins on a lake. It was in the middle of winter, so the lake was frozen. It was an inland lake. And I remember we got lost trying to get there. Because
I think everybody did.
Because
it wasn't very easy to get there.
And it was also blizzard. It was also blizzard-like conditions the night we got there. This took place over a weekend, by the way. It was like we got there Friday, spent all day there Saturday, and left Sunday morning. That was a long Saturday as well. But remember, I got there. It was a pretty nice cabin. You know, it wasn't huge, but it wasn't tiny either. Lots of space and plenty of things to. And it was like. We had a lot of stuff to do. We were supposed to get do a bunch of scout activities. We were ice fishing, snowmobiling. We were gonna cook. We were going to I don't think we had a fire, but
we had a stove.
And then I remember something else we had to do as well. Was it cooking and just ice fishing and snowmobiling? Was those three things? Snowmobiling wasn't really the activity. It was just like a fun thing that we could do.
It was ice activities and then sleeping. That was it.
And there was a lot of stuff that happened. So let's get into it. So I remember I was one of the first people there, and what were your guys' opinions on the cabin? If you remember,
it was like a house.
It was pretty much like a house. It was pretty much like a house. So nothing really else happened that night. Then we get to day one, and I remember one of the big things we wanted to do was we were going to go out and go ice fishing. And they showed us like how to drill holes for ice, and then we had to set up a tent out there. I don't really remember any of the details like setting it up and getting out there though. I just remember being out there.
What, on the ice?
Yeah. When we remember yeah.
You don't remember building like the snow forts and having like a crazy snowball fight?
I don't remember that. No. I just
Dude.
remember.
That's what I spent most of my time doing, was building a giant freaking snow fort.
Well, okay, so I'll tell.
When we were in elementary school, or the only thing we'd do at recess in the winter was just make massive snow forts.
There was a lot of snow. I remember it being very snowy because there was a blizzard the previous night. Well, because we're on the ice, I remember two traumatic experiences. And that was, I remember when we were going out there, they gave us a big lecture saying, do not look down, look for the ice holes, do not step in them, you will fall through. And I was like, okay, simple enough, you know, it's easy to find them and stuff.
And of course, Tyler, being the idiot that he was, died by falling through the ice.
I fell through the ice.
The ghost of Tyler right now. He died several years ago. We watched him be put in the ground. This is the ghost of Pringleson talking. I'm also a ghost. I died a couple years ago as well.
Yeah, see, it's like paranormal stuff. But the first time I fell through the ice twice. I fell through the ice twice. First time I remember, it was when it was already started. So yeah, we were already set up, right? And I was going into the tent because it was really cold outside, so I wanted to go into the tent to stay a little bit warmer, and I wanted to fish and stuff. And I walk into the tent, I step not even a foot into the tent, and on my foot goes zoop, right through a hole. And it's like, and then like, we told you not to step through the ice hole. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's pitch black in here, and I can't see, and it's right in front of the door. Who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. But
The government, probably.
yeah, probably the government. It's government's fault. But that wasn't. I mean, my boot was still there, and everything was fine and dandy. I don't think we lasted too much longer after that because it was cold and we weren't catching anything. So
I'm cold right now.
Besides the cold.
And Eli, I know you were here for this portion, but we were packing up.
Yeah, I think I was the last one to get there.
I know you were here when we were packing up because we were talking while we were packing up this stuff to go back. And lo and behold, what do? I step my other foot through another ice hole that we made outside the tent for some reason. And I remember
And he died.
I did die, yes.
Again.
It was like cryotherapy before cryotherapy was a thing.
You don't die if you... That's not how that works.
Anyway,
Well, yes, it is actually, because the science at the time wasn't developed enough, and so he was merely but a test subject, and a failed test subject at that.
True. I'm thinking too far in the future.
Right, you're thinking current
This was
events.
for context, this was like what?
I'm thinking alternate universe where we just have shit.
This was like 10 years ago this happened, for context, by the way.
Probably more than that.
I think it was about 10. I think we were in 3rd grade when it happened.
I don't think I was only 8 years old when this happened.
I don't remember. I remember you, Eli, though, saying distinctively, "Oh, you put your foot through another hole. Nice job." In like that tone, like it was like nobody cared.
Well,
Right?
Tyler, I gotta be honest. If it happened today, it would be the exact same reaction.
It would be, yes, and we would laugh.
There'd probably be a lot more laughing on my end.
Yeah, there would probably be a lot more like hilarious stuff, but
It'd be a whole lot of "Welp, I told you so" moments.
A whole lot of "Welp, I told you so." You did that unintentionally, but I'm pointing it out.
so we leave, and I remember I had a huge fear of losing my boot sinking to the bottom of the lake because we were in the middle of the lake. I remember, and I remember really fearing that my boot was gonna sink.
Ah, yes, the boot, as opposed to you as the child.
There's a fish in my boot.
And then, but no, it didn't happen. Went back. I don't remember much else after that. I remember.
That's because you died.
That's because I died. Yes. I wasn't resurrected yet. Yet.
That was when we were telling scary stories that night.
Oh yeah. We should talk about that.
That was a segue, and you weren't supposed to mention it. Thanks.
Okay.
I completely forget this entire part.
How do you not? Well, actually, never mind. I know exactly how you don't remember. It's because you were gaming on a 3DS the whole time.
Probably.
There's certain things that I don't remember about this trip too, that Tyler remembers. Specifically Jurassic Park 3. I don't remember that at all.
I remember.
But he seems to remember
Okay,
that.
so I want to talk about that for a second. This was the trip. This was the first time I had ever watched a Jurassic Park movie. It was Jurassic Park 3. However, I didn't know it was Jurassic Park 3. I thought it was... for the longest time, I was trying to piece together what movie we were watching, because I remember the plane flying to the island was the exact plane. That's how I know it's Jurassic Park 3. But I also remember there being humans on, like, this island and bugs, like, gigantic bugs attacking them. And, like, those were probably dinosaurs, and I was just, like, I wasn't even 10, so I didn't piece it together. Oh, these are dinosaurs. Kind of thing.
Unless we were watching King Kong.
And nobody was even watching the movie. It was just on in the background. Because,
Hey, modern YouTube right there.
But scary stories. I know. Elaborate on what else happened that night. I don't remember much else.
So the scary stories I specifically remember very well, and there's one in particular that still I remember like to this day. It was I actually remember who was telling them and everything. I remember everybody was on this trip. I think I have a picture somewhere actually of all of us on this trip.
No.
But anyway, it was Adam Russell telling the spooky, scary stories, and it was
Shout out, by
probably
the
around
way.
an hour of scary storytelling. And there was the one where we're kids, so obviously we're not telling the stories very well. I mean, all of us are like subpar intelligence, and I mean, like Tyler fell in the ice twice, so
That's not the only stupid thing I did either. We'll get to the other thing I did later.
good job, buddy. Anyway, so there was one story where it was about this girl, right? And she had this wrap around her neck, and she fell in love with this guy, and they got married and everything, and she was dying, and he was like, I gotta know, you've worn that thing around your neck the entire time I've known you. I've never seen you take it off. And she's like, take it off. See who I really am. And so he does, and she's just fucking decapitated, and her head has been held together by a fucking scarf for the past 50 years.
Jesus Christ.
It was pretty traumatizing, and I didn't sleep well that night.
Somehow, even though, okay, I don't remember the scary stories happening, but somehow I perfectly recalled the ending of that. I was like, oh yeah, she's not gonna have a head.
Well, I'm starting to recall that as well. Man. It's like I don't remember much of the scary stories, but that one I'm starting to come back a little bit to me. One thing I do remember we did, video gaming wise, we played Pokemon. I don't remember what Pokemon game it was. It was a console Pokemon game.
Pokemon or Pokemon. Yeah, it was either Pokemon Stadium or Coliseum. Those are the only
Stadium.
ones.
It was the older two.
I remember that. It was like the first time I'd ever played a Pokemon game. I was like super into it, but I didn't know how to play, so I didn't actually play the game. I just watched other people play. But I still liked it for some reason.
I remember freaking actually maybe it was Coliseum. I can't remember if Houndoom was in Coliseum or in Stadium or not.
What else?
But I remember freaking Jacob Hetchler picking Houndoom every time and just kicking all of our asses.
Damn.
With his dark type dog.
Okay.
Dark Fire Spike.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else notable from that first day? We had snowmobiling. That's a pretty big thing that happened.
That was one of the first times I ever rode a snowmobile by myself. It was the little fucking weenie Kit Kat one.
Yeah, they had like the big one.
Junior.
It got me into snowmobiling, and I actually have a license. I got my snowmobile license before I got my driver's license. So
fucking nerd.
Yeah, I am legally licensed to operate snowmobiles.
Yeah, I remember they had the little teeny ones for the kids to drive, and then they had the big ones for the adults to drive, and they would also use the big ones to use like tubing in this like little circle.
Yes.
But they also used they also had a 4-wheeler that they used to do that as well. I think that worked better than a snowmobile because it had a better towing capacity. But it was that was a lot of fun. I remember that being a lot of fun. So
it's really easy to get a license to snowmobile. At least in Michigan, literally all you have to do is just pass an online class, and then you literally print off a certificate.
That's safe.
No,
I'm licensed to give seat.
Okay. I remember that's the only time. Oh my god. I remember that's the only time my dad ever drove a snowmobile, as well. It was like.
I don't remember driving a snowmobile. I don't remember snowmobiles really well.
I remember driving the little one. I never actually rode the big one, but I did drive the little one around a little bit, and it was okay.
Dude, going like 80 miles an hour on a real snowmobile is exhilarating. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I can do. I can tell. That's like riding a jet ski, kind of, except you're on snow and you get
You
hurt when.
can't do that. Oh, you are terrible. How old is that story? Jesus Christ, that happened forever ago.
We
The
could do a whole.
Jets
I could do a.
incident.
Wasn't that like a summer or two ago when you like hurt your fucking back jet skiing?
No, that was last summer. Okay, that's not a topic of this video. That was last
You're
summer,
a
and
boomer.
I bruised my ribs for about a couple of months, and now I'm better, and I don't want to ever drive a jet ski again without anybody else helping me. So, moving on.
I just noticed LT said, "I'm in school, god damn it."
All right.
Ah.
So one of the big activities that they wanted us to do, other than ice fishing, was cook a meal. And they gave us the option. They gave us two choices. We either cooked the dinner, the dinner Saturday night, which was spaghetti and meatballs. I remember that. Or we cooked
I made
breakfast.
the spaghetti.
Or we cooked breakfast Sunday morning. We chose breakfast. I think we chose breakfast because that means we would have to wait longer to do it. So maybe they would forget and they would cook the breakfast for us instead. I don't remember.
Probably knowing us at that time, probably we're all a bunch of lazy assholes.
But we ended up actually cooking it. And
I do remember making spaghetti though. Like I definitely made spaghetti. I don't think it was a choice between the two. I think they split the two meals between us.
Maybe that's what happened. There was about 5 of us there.
Because I don't
6 of
remember
us.
cooking breakfast.
I remember cooking breakfast for one reason only. But we'll get to that in a second. So I was
Because you fell through the ice and died
So
while you were cooking breakfast.
we all like separated our jobs, like what we had to cook. We each cooked an individual thing. I was in charge of the bacon because that was apparently super easy for me. I don't remember, but I was like laying the bacon on the thing and I burnt my hand. Yeah.
Pussy.
So I hit the pan. I heard a sizzle on my hand. People rushed over to help me. Somebody grabbed my arm. I don't remember who it was. Someone grabbed my arm, yanked me over to the sink, and was running my hand under cold water while they were getting a bag.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, no, that's a
They
horrible.
really
thing.
fucked up there. That could have sent you into shock if the burn was bad enough.
It was like, I don't even remember where the burn was on my hand. It was on my right hand, I remember. I don't even know where it was, though. But
It was on your hand.
they were...
idiot. You've said it like 8 times.
So, they were getting a bag of ice ready, and that was enough. The rest of you all had to cook breakfast, I remember. I got to sit out. I just got to go relax after that while they were getting a bag of ice for me ready to go. And then I had the bag of ice on my hand pretty much the rest of that day. This is Sunday, by the way. And ate breakfast. Everybody, I was super embarrassed, I remember, because I burnt my hand. Everybody kept asking if I was okay and stuff. When breakfast was over, I remember you guys started watching SpongeBob on the main TV, and me and my dad were getting ready to leave a little bit early. I don't know if you guys did any activities on Sunday, because we were the first ones to leave. But I just remember thinking,
Other than, Pokemon Stadium and a couple other things, not really.
but
And me and Eli adding each other on our fucking 3DSs.
Yeah.
the beginning of a friendship. A
In a
lifelong
weird
bond.
fucking school year.
Long lasting bond carries
Uh,
into today.
And to think about 3 or 4 months after that, I gave him his very first death threat from me.
I don't recall that.
Yeah,
You don't remember the clown picture, Eli?
No. Clown picture.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on. I want.
You don't remember me and Brandon drawing a picture of a clown with a knife through its head and putting an arrow saying it was you?
I remember that now.
Oh my god.
And like the champ and true friend I am, I took the entire fall.
Oh my god. I don't know what God. I don't remember what ended up happening to that picture. Like, I swear, I think I
They
remember.
made me throw it away.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that for some reason now.
Okay.
It's because
Yeah.
the whole fucking the whole fucking grade was aimed to convince me that you were annoying and stupid and were not a person to be friends with. And of course, like the person who was desperate for friends I believed them, and I was just like, okay, sure,
Ah, fuck, I just killed Peach.
good job.
So that's pretty much
I killed a
everything.
woman.
That's
I'm gonna
pretty
get
much
canceled on Twitter.
that's pretty much everything that I had from that we had from that memorable and from that very memorable and disastrous weekend. It was a wild one for sure. We never did anything like that again. For good
Maybe
reason.
not you.
Well, we didn't do that while I was in Cub Scouts. Maybe after I left, we did something like that again. But I think there's pretty good reason why that never happened again. And I think it was mostly because of me and my stupidity.
We went
I
over
mean,
to Jacob's house all the fucking
I
time.
will say you didn't have the entirety of the injury record because I nearly ended up getting frostbite because my hands and feet got so unbelievably cold that I
That
had
was
to
just
go.
from the thing on the ice on your 3DS.
I don't know if I took it out on the ice with me or not. I don't think
Well,
I
I
did.
can't really imagine you without it at the time, so I don't know.
I'm still just
also
as
remember
protective
your,
of
like,
myself
stupid
now as I
fucking
was
hat.
then, or other way around. I was still just as concerned about, taking care of my electronics and shit as I was then as I am now. So odds are I left it inside.
I just remember you being on your 3DS the whole time and wearing that stupid fucking hat with the strings on either end.
I think I remember otherwise is me and my dad went to McDonald's for lunch on the way home, and then we blew up the bag of what was now melted water from the ice. That was like 3 hours it lasted, which I think was a little short.
Water.
I was about to say the same thing. What the fuck is melted water?
me.
What
What do you mean melted water?
melted water.
Oh no!
Evaporation.
Oh
But-
fuck! It's not this one either.
But yeah, that was a disastrous weekend. And one of the top scout stories that I have.
I don't think it was disastrous. In my opinion, it went very well.
I mean, it was
In your
fun.
opinion, it went terrible because you're just stupid and you kept doing stupid
I
things.
froze my feet and burned my hands. And this stories video, we might do more stories related to scouts, like the Pinewood Derby or stuff like that. So stay on the lookout for those. And until next time, everybody, we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
So long, suckers.